grandfather always said that life is a mystery, and the only key to unlock is it to put the brains to work. By birth and by upbringing, I happen to be a living example of diversity. While my grandfather was a senior government official, my father happens to be a global trotter techno entrepreneur. Spending childhood all over the world meant free interactions with the various communities. Not only did I learn different languages, I became acquainted with the food, the customs, and all other aspects of the lives of different nationalities. Though some of these seemed strange and different from what we followed back at home, a close reflection while growing up led me to appreciate all the people all around the world. In this process, I imbibed an outlook of acceptance of this inbuilt diversity and refused to believe that there was only one way or the ordained way of living. Within the basic limits of human goodness and decency, a lot of diversity is possible. The marvel of almost cosmic synchrony with the workings of the brain has always fascinated me. Who has designed such perfection that works in an immaculate symphony? Neurons, tissues, and the spinal column working in a seamless mesh and communicating endless messages in flash, yet always delivering. How can something be made out of infinite parts be such a player that nothing possibly goes wrong? My brain communicates to synchronize the body, but who is waving the baton that conducts the perfect orchestra? Equally fascinating was its impenetrability and its almost self-established perfection. Most neuro operations failed. Observing children with cerebral palsy, attention deficit and learning disorders, as well as autistic children with special needs, fueled the other side of curiosity. What causes cross signals and why do these make the learning and memory process difficult and different? Brain as an organ is intriguing, but as a receptor of the mind process, it's awesomely intriguing. Perseverance is the key, my parents have always said. Each moment is an obstacle on the path of achievement, whether it's finding out the intricacies of the brain, functioning, or solve its complex problems of life. Working together, every obstacle can be overcome. These words reverberate in my ears whenever I think of my wonder years. For indeed, there was wonder in ample measure in my childhood. My father is a techno entrepreneur, and my mother is a homemaker who has been a constant source of inspiration for me, and she inculcated modesty, humility, and humanitarian attitude in me. Things turn out the best for the people who make the best of the way things turn out has been my dad's favorite quote and been drilled into me because it's a reminder that attitude is more important than strength, intelligence, money, or any other source. To him, it defines the driving force of entrepreneurial individual as an enterprising outlook, self-motivation, and a logic-based approach are the three most significant driving forces for success. On my part, I have always added passion to his list. All these attributes have driven me in my aspiration for excellence. My mother's helpful attitude towards the human mankind have made me focus on the ways to combine the power of innovation and passion for healing work together to discover the healing methods to cure all the diseases possible. My lessons of diversity stood me in a good stead when I attended a summer camp at Tuxedo Park School in New York, USA. In the aftermath of the worst terrorist incident, the topic chosen for the presentation was explosive: Mahatma Gandhi's non-violence in the age of 9/11. We were divided into teams, and our team was a team divided. Most of the team members were affected by the reprehensible attack, many of them directly. Very few were willing to countermand the stand that I firmly believed in, for the non-violence in dealing with the situation arising out of the attack. Everyone immediately had upped their defenses. I was pushed into corners. Even communication channels were broken down. I realized that communicating with people of different communities leading to a particular point of view was very important in one's life. It was then that I employed my lessons of diversity. I began to see the issue from their points of view. I pointed out the advantages that often outweighed the threats and rounded off with the personal costs of violence. At the personal and emotional levels, the tide began to turn gradually. Some were convinced earlier, but others held out. I saw the people who directly were affected were holding out. It was then that I thought of a candlelight prayer session where we would pray for the peace of the souls of the departed and also asked everyone to reflect why the incident had happened. Because some people believed in violence as a way of teaching others a lesson. The point was driven home, obviously. Our presentation was ultimately judged to be one of the best, all thanks to my lifetime of learning about diversity. I believe the same would contribute to my understanding and evolving a more composite personality to handle issues with clarity, empathy, and understanding.